Bienvenidos. Soy la Bruja Espenada, and I am here with a very special full moon reading. So let's get started. It's been a minute. Let's see. The first card that came flying out is the Page of Wands. Next, this good chunk, we have the Seven of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, and the Nine of Wands. My. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, the Two of Pentacles, and the Ten of Wands. Well, my dears, what can be said with all that is here? The Three of Wands. We'll stop right here. We have the Page of Pentacles also, and the Page of Cups. We're going to stop here because it's just repeating energy. It is just repeating energy. So let's get started with what first fell out. We have the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands, brand new passion coming through, which is perfectly fine. We're coming very close to the end of this harvest season, close to the end of fall, autumn. We're closely entering into winter. And there's a lot of new passion projects coming out. That's the first word that pops up in my mind. It's passion projects. Lots of passion here. And it's something new. This is following quite a bit of struggle, quite a bit of combativeness, which is typical. There's been a struggle, obviously, and so that's why something new is coming through. And you have a lot of Wands, a lot of Pentacles. So Pentacles is earth energy, a lot of resources coming through, and we see this very much with the Eight of Pentacles here. So it kind of seems like I'm repeating myself in a way, but the whole vibe is brand new. This Page of Wands is a very brand new feeling that's coming through. This is something very different. This isn't the same cycle that was repeating itself in the past. This is a brand new thing. This energy is very clean. It's very new. It's very different. It's kind of like you're starting from the bottom, but you're not without the resources, clearly. There's plenty of resources that you have at your disposal, plenty of materials, plenty of information, plenty of whatever it is. You have a lot of backup that's going to help support this passion project that you have coming up. It's also reinforced by the Knight of Pentacles. You're a little bit wiser. You're coming out a bit wiser. This is a knight. This isn't a page. This is someone that's a little bit more learned, not exactly an expert, but they have learned from their mistakes. And that is indicated here, especially since we're following the path of the King of Pentacles. This is what we're trying to achieve. This is where we're trying to get to. And that is what is being highlighted at this time. We're also followed by the Six of Pentacles again. This is Six of Pentacles comes after the Five of Pentacles. And the Five of Pentacles is typically seen as, in the traditional rider-right deck, as the church with Five Pentacles and poverty. The Six of Pentacles is that indication of coming out of that, coming out slowly, mind you, slowly coming out of that struggle, working towards this bag. And we're followed with the Queen of Wands. So considering that we have the King of Pentacles, we have the Queen of Wands, this is all tied to whatever you're passionate about. Whatever this new passion project is, you're going to be ascertaining this level. You're going to be securing this bag, which is really, really good. However, it is followed by the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is that reminder, just like the Seven of Swords. You've come a long way. You've been dealing with a lot of burden, and it feels like the worries of the past, of other passion projects that have just fallen through or other things, don't worry about it. I know it's easier said than done, but this is something brand new. The vibe of this is very different. You're coming out of that struggle. You are holding on to the burdens from the past, which is what we all do. We can't lay down the load quite yet until, we find how to work through it. And this is what this is indicating, especially since we have the Ace of Pentacles. This is brand new. Ace is brand new beginnings, brand new money, brand new resources, brand new bag. This is what this is telling you. This new passion, these resources are coming through, and it's just that reminder, that indicator. As soon as you lay down your burdens, or rather, as soon as these things are able to move smoothly forward for you, you'll be able to lighten that load, lighten that burden that you've been struggling with for so long. And this is all new. Everything that's coming out with this Ace, the Page, this is all new. New things, new beginnings, new. It's also followed by the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles, again, it's that reminder, things take time. That's what this card is telling you. The Seven of Pentacles is that reminder that things take time. So, because this is new, mind you, the Seven of Pentacles is that ideal of trying to watch water boil. The more you watch it, the more intently you're staring at it, the more time you're wasting. So don't waste your time waiting for all these resources to come through to you when you should be, because you're in a page mode, to start leveling up. Don't just sit there watching everything, all your seeds that you've planted. Don't sit there wasting time waiting for them to grow. Continue working on harnessing and improving that passion, that new activity, that new craft, that new skill, whatever it is, that new knowledge that you have. Work on it to truly have growth. Have that growth. Okay, don't waste your time just watching those seeds sprout. Tend to it, tend to your garden. Don't let it fall to the wayside. Like it said here, like you've leveled up, you've learned something. But if you've learned anything, you can't stop improving just to ascertain your bag. Then we're followed by the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is a balance. It's a balance of communication. You've come a long way in the way that you've been able to communicate. However, there is a choice, especially when it comes to your resources and securing your bag. The 4 and the 2 here, the Four of Swords and the 2 of Pentacles, the way that you are going to be working with others, those collaborations, keep an eye out for the ability to continue collaborating. Then we're followed by the Page of Pentacles. So we have the Knight of Pentacles, and this is, like I said, these messages are kind of repeating themselves. So that's why I stopped pulling cards, because it just seemed like a repeat of what's being said. So the Page of Pentacles here, we have the Knight of Pentacles, meaning you've learned something. But if there's anything that you've learned, again, you don't just sit there like with the Seven of Wands trying to see those seeds sprout. it's like a new lesson. Like, okay, I've learned something, but this is a reminder of like, put into practice what you've learned. Remember where you came from and remember where you are now and how you can make those changes to improve in order to reach the level of the king. You have to put into practice what you've learned from. Keep an eye out, especially when you're going to be collaborating. It's your choice on whether or not you want to collaborate, but I'm going to let you know right now, if you choose not to, you're still going to have a whole bunch of struggle. We have the 10 of Wands, similar to the 9 of Wands. It's those burdens, the burdens of the past. Don't hold on to the past. Focus on working hard. Continue working hard to hone your skills, to improve your skills, to continue making that bag that's going to work out for you in the end. Then we're followed by the 3 of Wands and the Page of Cups. Now, like I said, there's a lot of Wands. There's a lot of Pentacles. This is just, and there are some swords, but primarily this is all Wands and Pentacles. So there's a lot of focus on resources, money, studies, information, whatever that is, whatever your resources are. There's a lot of focus on that. And Wands is a lot of trying to find that balance of, what it feels like is that it feels like you're trying to get paid for what you love to do, which there's nothing wrong with that. However, this little sneaky reminder came in. Boop, the Page of Cups. Do not, and while it's all well and good that this is what you've been focusing on, this has been your primary focus, because clearly it's repetitive. This has been the focus. Securing your bag, improving your skill, securing the bag, improving your skill, leveling up. This is the theme. This is what you've been focusing on. This is a reminder to not neglect your emotions. Oh, don't be cynical. I know some people are like, ugh, who's got time for that? It's all a balance. And it's not a balance of one thing over another. It's not just, head over heart emotions for anything. Like, are you emotion-wise, have you been able to properly emotionally comprehend the struggle that you've been through with your burdens, with being in battle with other people? Are you emotionally well enough to handle all of that pressure? You've had all these burdens, but have you ever known how to manage emotions through success without self-sabotage? Because you're so used to things going wrong. That's where you need to start focusing on this emotionally. You have to be able to balance your emotions. Just because you're able to handle the pressures and the stress of the negative, that doesn't mean that you're able to manage and sustain happiness and abundance if you don't put that into practice. That is key. This is the the repetitive of all of this. Ultimately, this is your real message. Can you sustain a future of happiness and abundance without self-sabotage? Ooh, cut that shit out. You can't hide from this one, sweetie pie. You cannot hide from this one. Ooh. My, oh my. Whew. If there was ever a slap in the face that needed to happen, that was the one. Mighty Fates, what lesson do you have for our watchers at this time? That's what I just found so funny. I was like, this is just repeating itself at this point. I was like, I need to draw anything else out. It was just on repeat. But the Page of Cups, that's the one. You have to be emotionally well, not just for the bad, but also for the good. A lot of us are notorious self-sabotagers, and that's, ooh, here we go. you self-sabotage, how are you going to sustain the future that you're wishing for? So, the mighty fates have blessed us with the Outlaw. That's a very brand new card. I have had yet to pull this one. And the Paradox. So, let us start with the Outlaw. I'm very curious to see what the Outlaw has to say to us. Here we go. Oh, luckily they're right next to each other. The Outlaw. When you pull the Outlaw, it is time to go against the grain. It can be scary to do this. All humans at some point or another have received the message that conforming is necessary for survival. In fact, we are hardwired to be that way. Early in human history, the humans that were outcast from their tribe would not survive. That still lives within us. The fear that if we go against the pack, our survival will be threatened. But the Outlaw gives us the courage to stand alone in stark contrast with that which is widely accepted or normalized. The Outlaw pushes for progress within the collective. The Outlaw is a good ally for when we are working on breaking free of limited inherent patterns or beliefs. A balanced and healthy Outlaw lives by their own personal compass. They are honorable and live with integrity, but it may not always be how others perceive right and wrong. For example, they won't say, stealing is bad no matter what. They will ask, why is it being done? What is it for? Unbalanced Outlaw can isolate themselves, believing that they are entirely alone. This may also turn into destructive, whether internal or external tendencies. They may also identify too much with being different, and in turn, they're always in opposition of others simply for the sake of being so. Balanced Outlaw is confident and rebellious by nature, but they are not that way for the sake of being rebellious. In other words, they have a cause. The Outlaw asks for give no fucks attitude. In order to do great things in the world, we must not get caught up in how the herd views us. We must keep going forward with that which we believe in. Given that, consider examining what radical means to you. In what ways do you live within the boxes of society has given us? In what ways do you want to grow beyond them? Well, let's move on to the Paradox. This card is a reminder that we can hold two extremes at the same time. Sometimes we're focused on things, whether internal or external, and see them as one-sided. But to hold the paradox within us requires strength, to see our most brilliant qualities and our most ugly, to acknowledge that they both live within us is a gateway to growth. Carl Jung said, the paradox is one of the most valuable spiritual possessions, and for anyone who does shadow work, they know this to be true, but this can also be difficult for many people. If we have been raised in a rigid environment where things are viewed as black and white, it may be hard for us to accept our flaws, let alone love them. One of the best ways to slowly enter a relationship with our internal paradox is to remind ourselves that we did not create these things within us. We inherited them. It does not define us, and yet we are responsible for it. To work more deeply with paradox, as you witness yourself throughout the day, identify what types of thoughts you have of positive or negative. From there, find the polar extreme. For example, maybe you thought, I'm so fucking lazy. Acknowledge a couple of things that makes that true. Then find the polar opposite, i.e. hardworking, and acknowledge a few things or experiences that prove that you are hardworking. So, similarly to what I stated here, especially with the Page of Cups, there is a lot of turmoil that you need to work through before you ultimately inherit all that bag. The bag is coming. You not putting in this work isn't going to stop that those resources coming to you. This is trying to state is you really have to think about, and you have to choose. This is why this choice is here. Do you want this bag? It's coming to you. Can you sustain the emotions to live in that new way of life? That's where the paradox is coming through. When it comes to you, are you going to feel worthy? Are you going to be faced with imposter syndrome? Can you continue to live a life that you've been dreaming of? Because once you have it, are you going to be able to sustain it? Or are you going to fall into bad habits like self-sabotage and ruin what's yours, what comes to you? Are you going to, not be in an emotional space to be able to maintain that abundance? These are the hugest questions that are being asked of you right now when it comes to this. Can you do it? And I think you can, but you have to choose to do it. You cannot overlook the emotional work that's going to come with this. Hello, Spirit Guides. What message do you have for our watchers today? We have the Elephant Spirit. Learn from the past. Hey. Learn from the past. Where is she at? Page of Pentacles. It's that reminder. Let's see. Elephant Spirit. Nope. Here we go. Elephant Spirit. Although we often wish we could leave the past behind, Elephant Spirit reminds us that memory matters. We must respect the wisdom of the elders who hand down to us tradition they have shaped to express our connection to each other and respect for the community. What has come before informs what we are experiencing today, and we must never forget our legacy of strength and dignity. Elephant Spirit appears with the message that we are to acknowledge that which came before and learn from it. All of us are memory-based creatures, and we must revisit the past to understand where we are and where we're going. The stories and events you experienced, the stories in our collective memory, and the stories of relationships you have had can be told in many ways. What story will you tell? Elephant Spirit is here to encourage you to make it one that stirs in you a sense of power and dignity, for you have honored yourself by choosing to learn from your past. Spirit rejoices at your willingness to learn and grow. Are you feeling uncomfortable with a tradition, custom, or familiar behavior that no longer fits who you are? Do you wish the past could be eased so it could no longer cause you a moment's pain? Elephant Spirit is here to encourage you to write a different story and alter the tradition in ways that acknowledge that we all evolve, for transformation is our nature. Remember the outlaw, the message of the outlaw. Elephant Spirit calls you not to be selective in your memory, because ignoring the good or the bad will prevent you from growing your wisdom and strength. Build on the best of the past, learn from the worst, and walk into the future with dignity, accompanied by Elephant Spirit, who remembers the truth and honors your strength and wisdom. Ooh, so many lessons, so many things to be said, a lot to do. Now, I sincerely hope all these messages helped. I will see you guys next time.